All right.
Hey,
Hello,
good morning,
everyone.
everyone.
We're going to go ahead and wait a few minutes to let everyone trickle in here. I'm going to start us off just with a few questions. Oh, excuse my dogs.
We love dogs. We're dog friendly in the solar industry.
Apologize for that. You know, people just love to ring the doorbell as soon as we start a webinar. But you should see a poll pop up on your screen here. So we just have a few questions for those of you that are already on. If you just want to go through, you can click directly on your screen to answer those poll questions. For those of you just joining on, we have a poll launched on the screen there. So if you want to go ahead and click through those questions, give some answers to those for us. We're just going to give it a few minutes for some more people to join on, and then we'll get started with the presentation.
Are we live on YouTube, Dakota?
We are live on YouTube.
Yeah, I just found it out here. I normally have some soundscapes going on in the background. I just found it on YouTube.
Oh yeah. So for those watching on YouTube, I don't think you see the poll questions, but I apologize for that.
But they are terrific questions.
Yes.
All right, let's give it a couple more minutes here. I think Zoom needs to find a way to put some like music in the background eventually one day.
Why don't you just play your guitar for us, Nick?
I could. My guitars are all the way over there, though. I'm actually in the office of my house, so I need to put up a guitar hanger or something around here. This was the same office that I was doing online learning for my kids in this room. So I'm actually sitting at the desk that I built for them to do it. So, but my kids are finally back in school, so I'm extremely thankful, and so are they. They missed their friends.
We'll just give it like one more minute. If you haven't answered
Absolutely.
those poll questions that are launched, go ahead and just click through those directly on your screen. And we'll get started with the presentation in about 1 minute here.
Got to put my phone on do not disturb here. There we go.
Awesome. And while we're waiting for those of you to just finish up the poll, just a few little housekeeping things for you. I mean, I'm sure everyone on here is used to Zoom by now, but if you're not, there is a little Q&A section down at the bottom. So during the presentation, if you have any Q&As, just go ahead and click that button there and type in any of your questions, and we will be sure to answer those at the end of the presentation. We'll leave about 5 to 10 minutes for that.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll, and I will let Nick and David take it away.
Excellent. Excellent. Good morning, everyone. I am Nick Pack with K2 Systems, and I am joined by the mighty GreenLancer team, David and Jay, and whom else is on the call here?
I think it's just Jay and myself, David.
Oh, it is Jay and David. Okay, great, guys. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, carving out some time for us today. We've got a nice packed webinar for you today that has some great information and some new updates that we've worked diligently together with the GreenLancer team to make sure that we actually have some more offerings to our system and helping you guys across all of your projects moving forward. I'm Nick Pack with K2 Systems. A little background on me: I've been in solar since about 2010, and specifically just on the racking end. And I've loved every year of it. It's continuing to grow across the industry. We have a broadening industry that just keeps on growing every year. There's new technology, there's new software, and we're very happy to partner with the GreenLancer team today. I'll let David go ahead and introduce himself as well. And Jay.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Dorado. I've been with GreenLancer about almost 4 years. I'm one of our senior account managers here, so I spend a lot of my day working with installers, troubleshooting issues through permit designs, engineering stamps, whatever comes up. I'm here to help and support. It's your permit so you guys can get installing faster. Pleasure to be here. Really excited about our partnership with K2 Systems. A great company. Partnership's really going to excel our industry.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and kick it off here and start going through a couple of the slides that we have for you here. So what I wanted to show you guys first is just a brief agenda of what we're going to drive through today. We're going to talk about ourselves, what we do in the industry. Dave got a chance to say hello. A little bit about K2 and our software. We're going to drive through an install, or a design actually for an install, and then we're going to actually show you how our API bridge works with GreenLancer, and then I'll let David take it over and he'll show you all the features that GreenLancer already has. A little background on me, guys. I've been in over 10 years in the industry here, mostly focused on the racking industry, but I've delved into software for a long time with both the companies I've been with. Specifically here at K2 System, I do work with our digital team that supports the base system. David did give a background about himself here, but if you guys want to take a snapshot of that, happy to have him on the call. Let's keep driving. K2 Systems here. We are an international racking company, actually. So we're not just here in the United States. We actually deploy our systems across Europe, Asia, all of North America, Latin America, even into Australia and other parts of Southeast Asia as well. This is actually a fantastic project that we did with in the Dublin Safety Center here in Northern California. I know people are coming from multiple places here to join this webinar here, but very, very happy to be a part of this project. Actually, I love this photo. As we continue to expand our digital footprint on our systems that we have, especially base, we are driven to make sure that renewable energy is continued to prosper across the actual, the entire globe. We're very happy to be a part of it. It's a very large and expansive industry right now. There's commercial systems, there's residential systems, there's utility systems, there's even floating solar. There's so many different things going on right here in the solar industry. There's new technology to help design, which we are happy to be a part of. And there's new technology to help you permit rapidly and get those projects across the finish line. K2 Systems is over 300 employees. We are deployed to over 10 worldwide locations. We're partnered with over 120 worldwide distributors, and we have just surpassed 16 gigawatts of our installed capacity, and that's worldwide. Very happy to have that. Getting solar on rooftops makes me happy every day. We are headquartered in Renningen, Germany. We have offices in Italy, France, England. Of course, our headquarters here in California is in Oceanside, California. We just moved into a brand new building, just a little bit over 52,000 square feet. We have our Mexico team as well, who helps out a lot with our design software. And we're also into Southern Africa, Latin America, Brazil, and of course the Australian market. Here's just the general idea of how much actual install we have done across the world. So almost there. Nobody's really tapped into Greenland there. So, but anyhow, a little history on us. We were founded in 2004, and we were finally brought over to the United States in 2012. I'm sure all of you guys can see that smaller symbol on the bottom right-hand corner, which says Everest Solar Systems. That is how we were brought over to the United States as Everest, and K2 was our parent company. And now, as of 2021, we are officially K2. The entire team is K2. So Everest was never we didn't acquire Everest or anything like that. We were just using the Everest Solar Systems name at the time. And now we can fully use the K2 Systems business name across our market. Online tool for planning your installs. So we have had our base online tool since about 2015. And the tool has been consistently growing. It has been, we've added on more products and more systems, and we've developed new ways for it to actually support your projects more in the future. So this is a completely user-friendly free tool. It's available in 15 different languages. You have the ability to share projects with each other. So for instance, like if Dakota started a project, she can wherever she left off, she can send that to me, and I can pick up that project right where she left off. We offer a lot of structural testing on the equipment that's inside that we make. So it is a graphical tool. It'll give you an idea of the rafter spacing. It'll give you an idea of the setbacks. It has a fully outfitted library of modules, and most of the accessories that we have are inside of the system. We also have, and that's why GreenLancer is here today, we have the capacity to add on other software bridges into and out of base. So we currently had K2 Plus, which is an API bridge platform that we can connect to the tools that you see below. We can go with SMA Sunny Design, the Solar Edge Designer, the Fronius Inverter Designer, the GoodWe, and Costal. And we also have the ability to have some new updates as well, which is we have a button for GreenLancer that you can just click, and we'll be able to go over there and we'll drive through that in a demo for you here. Oops, let me go back real quick. So I'll kick it over to David real quick here so he can give you some background on what GreenLancer offers.
Thanks, Nick. And thank you to everyone joining us today. GreenLancer, solar design and engineering made to order. That's what we're here to do. GreenLancer was founded to really accelerate the adoption of solar energy throughout the industry in a total. Our mission is to make subcontracting, solar permit design, and engineering as simple and fast as possible for all the installers working on solar projects. and how it works. GreenLancer is an online platform that allows solar installers to order permit design, engineering services, and other solar solutions from an on-demand network of providers, saving installers time and money. A quick run through, start by creating your account, creating a project within your GreenLancer account, browsing and ordering our fulfillment services, and then you'll have the ability to track and download all of your deliverables. Why GreenLancer? Digital first industry leader, solar permitting and engineering for 9 years. You standardized, fast, competitively priced permit design and engineering, with simple communication and project tracking. We enable unparalleled, rapid time to install. Right-hand side, you can see our solar footprint across the United States. We offer commercial and residential solar solutions, anything in between, 48-hour turnaround time on project fulfillment, in-house customer support, quality designs, and competitive pricing. On the residential services, we can help out pre-sale, I call it, looking at a feasibility study, all the way through the permit-ready plan sets, engineering, structural, and electrical licensed engineer stamps per state, can help you get through the whole interconnection process. You kick your feet up, let us get you that PTO. And then we can also help with expediting and permit running. So you can take that out of your day, we'll run it to the office for you.
Actually, David, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, permission to operate is a big deal for an abundance of installers here. The faster you can get your client to PTO will be the fastest you can move on to the next project. You know that one's put away and done, and the homeowner's system is turned on, and they're already receiving net metering credits. So that's a good thing to hit on. I'm glad you really highlighted that for us.
And then on the C&I side, the commercial and industrial services, it's going to be sort of rinse, wash, and repeat from our residential side. Can help out before the sale with a feasibility study, going into the financial analysis on larger commercial buildings. Again, gets you through that permit ready plan set phase, engineering, stamp, structural, and electrical. Will help with project management going through that life cycle. In the C&I space, it is a longer life cycle with the design engineering. So we'll be here every step of the way to help you manage that process. And then again, help you through that interconnection process. You don't have to deal with utility companies. You let us take that burden on, help you get to that PTO as fast as possible.
Oh, sorry about that. Skipped ahead a little bit. I think that was actually your last slide, David. So I think on this portion right now, we can just dive right into our designer, which is Base, and then we'll be able to show you guys how we can integrate projects over to GreenLancer, and then I'll hand over the screen to David after that, and then he'll show you all the features that are packed into GreenLancer if you haven't used it in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit over to Base. So where can you find Base? So if you're on our website, you can go to k2systems.com. And we have a couple different spots where you can actually find Base. One of the clearest one is right there at the top left. If you go to K2 Base, it'll take you here. The other way that you can go through it is any of these tabs that you hover over will give you a sub menu of different ways to find different items. So if you're just looking for products, you can go over our cross rail system. You can go over our all of our roof attachment suites. If you're just looking for information about our company, our newsletter, our locations, and any press and media. And if you want to go to Base in this fashion, you can go to Service Base Online Tool, or you can just click that one at the top. Another feature that we have built into Base is the Sherpa program right here. So this is an instant chat, and it is a monitored chat bot. So you can ask it questions like, "Can I find a distributor?" And then it'll give you an answer with a link on where you can find distributors. And if you're able to, and if it's not able to answer your question, one of our tech sales reps will be able to respond to a dynamic question that you have. But for the demonstration today, we're actually going to be using our test tool to show you how we can bridge together with GreenLancer. So I'm not going to go from the website. I already have it loaded right here on screen. It is a mirror image of the tool that you will see if you sign up for Base today. So I'm going to click right over here, and we're going to be logged into Base. So after you log into Base with us, all you need to do is provide an email and a password and some static information about your company, and then we'll respond back with a link that will initiate your login. And when you click on that in the future, it'll land you to this splash page right here. The couple updates that we've done and housekeeping that we've done to this new tool is that we've actually added the ability for you to auto-save. So the program will auto-save for you. That's something that was asked for by a lot of people. So, and we've also introduced 716 finally up to the tool. And we also have shrunk down the menu and streamlined the menu to make it faster for you. So today's project that we're going to create in the dashboard here, sorry, I did not go over the dashboard really quickly. You have the ability to segment your projects into what's in progress, what's completed, and what's been realized. And you can also search projects by your tags. If your customer database or your CRM uses any tags like hashtag Q1 2022 open projects, you can use that right there. Any naming conventions that you choose to use can be itemized into here for your guys' use of sorting your projects out. So let's get started here. Let's start a project. There's two major buttons you can just press to get started. You can either use the small button for new project over here or the big red button. I'm going to use this right here. And when it comes up front, you'll see that we have, it gives us a generic map right here, and it's asking us, where are we actually going to start this project? So this information of where you're going to start the project is actually extremely relevant to not only knowing the house's address, but knowing what the weather conditions are in the area you're going to be in. That's going to be important to how many anchors you're going to have to put onto the roof, and where David at GreenLancer is going to have to seek permitting for you. So extremely important information on where that's going to be. Today, we're going to design a very small system, an industry-sized system, which is the normal size system, just over 7.2 kilowatts, in a small neighborhood outside of the Bay Area here. So I already know the address of the property that we're going to use today, and it is 1347 Vintner Way, here in Pleasanton. That's right down the road from my house where I live, actually. Perfect house for solar. So as soon as you type in the address, we use Google Maps to hover over the actual property itself. As far as itemizing the project name, I'm going to call this house today Corner House. How about V2? And our planned installation date is coming up quick. They want this installation done by the 8th. And our designed method is going to be 716, which is the standard practice of how we install across Northern California. Most states have adopted 716. David, how many states are you seeing that are still on 710?
Like you said, most states are away from that. So it's very limited in my experience.
Us too. So any information that you want to put in here about your customer, you want to type in their phone number, and of course, any of those tags that you want to put in for your customer database or your filtering are right here. All of this information is bypassable as well. So you don't have to itemize this in. There's only a few fields that you actually have to click here, which is your design method and a project name and an address. From there, I'm going to click add, and it's going to move me on to the next portion tab of the tool, which is going to bring me over to loads. This is the actual loading of and the wind conditions and weather conditions that this array is going to encounter, or this equipment is going to encounter on this property. So it's letting me know that it's just analyzing if there's any snow in the territory. There's very little snow out here in Pleasanton, California. I think it snowed probably once in 1961 or something. The one thing that it does do is it grabs weather information from the actual zip code, any historical weather information based upon historical data. It does know that the highest wind speeds out in this area are about 91.9. The one thing that you do have to tell the tool is what kind of wind exposure is this? Is this house where you're installing solar out in an open field somewhere? Is it in a suburban dwelling, where there's a lot of houses close to it? Is it near an open waterway? That'll give you the classification of its exposure, which is, in this particular instance, is B. And this is important information for David's side too. He needs to know where it is. So, and what kind of wind exposure it's going to be. After that, we're going to hit continue, and it's going to take us onto our next tab, which is roof. We're almost halfway there to completing our project right now. So it's going to ask us right now while we're hovering over the property, and I can zoom in a little bit further, just give it a second here to zoom on in. It's going to ask me, what type of roof type are we doing here today? Are we doing a hipped roof? Are we doing a monoslope? Is it a very low pitch, almost flat roof? This is actually going to be a gabled roof. And let me just zoom in here to the house a bit further. So this is definitely a 2-story house with a pool, and it's got to have an air conditioner. Sorry about that. I was receiving a call from a family member and I thought it was on Do Not Disturb. Can you guys still hear me?
Loud and clear.
Great. Sorry. Okay, so with that said, it's going to tell us, since it's a gabled roof, would you like to design in the shape of a rectangle? So what type of geometry are we going to put over top of this roof so we can fit solar panels into that? So let's go ahead and select rectangle, and then it's going to ask us, what roofing material is this? Is this a tile roof? Does this happen to be a metal roof, a standing seam? Is it a gravel or concrete or some kind of rolled material? This particular house is, of course, comp shingle. I think about 80% of all the residential installs in the nation are probably composition shingle. Is that what you're predominantly encountering, David?
Yeah, that's what we see mostly.
Yeah, it's definitely the most popular. So, and I have the ability to classify what roof we're actually designing on, because we can design on multiple roofs with base. So we can design on the southwest side of the house, or the southeast side of the house. We can design on the southwest side of the house. If you really want to, you can design on the north side of the house. Don't recommend it, but we've had requests. So this one I'm going to title Roof 1, and how about second floor? So we can classify it so David will know which roof we're actually designing on, and he's going to get a comprehensive package of all this information over at GreenLancer. So now you'll notice that this portion of the menu has turned white, and there's no more selectables over here. But when I move over here, you'll notice that my cursor has turned into a crosshair. This means that it's time to draw across the roof. So I'm going to click on the far west side of the house here, and I'm going to work from left to right. And then I have inline dimensions ready for me. And this is going to be about a 38-inch roof. We can just be right over that at 38, and then about 16 in depth. There we go. And we can even zoom in even further on that if we need to. It's going to ask me, do you happen to know what the building's height is? I do. It's not going to make any assumptions. You can tell it that it's 34 feet, or you can say that it's 30 feet. It's going to ask us, what is the actual inclination of the roof or the roof pitch? Most composition shingle roofs that we encounter are in the range of about 22 to 26 degrees. So we're going to go with the higher one. We're going to say it's 26 degrees. It does classify right here that the roof covering is composition shingle, and the rafter spacing here in the United States is mostly in the Northwest is 24 on center. For some of you folks that are out there in the East Coast, I'm sure you encounter like a 16 on center because there's more snow loading and maybe different pitches out there. But in this particular instance here in the Northwest, we're going to see that it's 24 inches on center. So from that portion, you can see that this roof portion is just about finished. It's going to lead us on to design very soon here. So I'm going to click continue. It's just giving me some other weather information right here at this last portion of roof. And this is where you can toggle through the separate roofs that you have. We're going to go ahead and hit continue here. We know that the environment is partially exposed. And then from here, if there's any obstacles like a chimney or a skylight or any roofing vents that are on the roof, you can actually stipulate that here. And you can even draw the size of it. And that'll show up actually in the GreenLancer report as well. They'll say that, hey, there's an obstruction So, and it's X size. We're not going to do that today because we've got a pretty wide open roof for this property. I'm going to click continue. Any additional remarks about the roof? You can even put in here that the roof was re-roofed back in 2012, or it was re-roofed recently in 2019. If that information is privy to you, you can place it right here. Then from here, we're going to go ahead and select from our menu of modules that we have. We're going to go ahead and go with the last module that I used for my projects was REC, but we do have a vast menu of modules that you can select from. And it looks like the last one I used was the Alpha 360 Black. This will also give you the information on the module, its length, its width, its actual weight, and its power output. The power output will be calculated at the end. It'll show you how many modules you have on that roof. And that's it for selecting modules. If you want to choose another manufacturer, just type it in. You want to select Solaria, you can select Solaria. We have a vast, like I said, vast menu of different modules and manufacturers, which our compliance team is constantly adding to in this platform. We're going to go ahead and click on continue. And then from there, it's going to ask us, okay, we're finally down to system design. What type of system do you want on this? Do you want to use a standard 2-rail system where we put 2 rails under the solar panels across? Or do you want to try our shared rail application as well? For this particular practice, we're going to use the tried and true 2-rail system where we put 2 rails horizontally across the roof and we put down modules across those 2 rails. But our system with Crossrail does offer a shared rail application as well. Please reach out to us if you have questions about how that's executed, and we can actually show you how it's done. We have more training videos coming, and we have a lot more comprehensive training about the shared rail process. For today's demo, we're just going to select standard Crossrail, and I think most installers and most designers understand that process already. It's going to ask me, oh, would you like to just fill up this complete square, or would you like to draw across it? So fill out the module array layout. I'm going to select module array layout, and what orientation would we like these modules in? I would like them in portrait. Excellent. Now from here, you'll notice that the menu's gone white, and then my cursor has turned into a crosshair. And then from here, I'm going to click from left to right, and I can draw across the roof. This also gives me inline dimensions as I'm drawing. So I can draw a column over here or a square over here, and it'll drop modules into that square. Or I can edit it and draw it all the way across, and it'll continually lay down modules as I expand that field. I'll show you right here how it's done. It's very simple. So it's very plug and play. And it looks like we were able to get 20 modules up on that roof, a 7.2 kW system across this entire house. Plenty of room for setback over there. That's actually what your yellow line is here. It's an 18-inch setback all the way across the roof. So it fits right in that 38 by 16 roof. And it's telling us right here, how many modules do we have up the roof, or up the roof here is 2, and then we have 10 across. From here, in this menu, you can actually select what type of clamps you would like. If you'd like our standard top-down clamps, or would you like our Yeti hidden clamp? This particular client wanted not to see any of the hardware sticking out of the side, so he wanted to have the Yeti clamp. And then we also, since we're using black modules, we're going to make sure we use black mid clamps in between the modules. From there, I'm going to click continue. We're on to our last 2 segments of designing this, and we're able to transfer over to the results tab from here. And then from here, since we have told the tool that it is a 24 on center roof or rafter arrangement, it'll actually line this up with the rafter arrangement and place your mounts in between these areas. So it gives you a readout on the actual array itself. We can select from our menu of different roof attachments, and we have our E-comp series, we have our XP comp, we have just a standard L-foot. Let's say you're using somebody else's roof attachment today, and you want to use the K2 L-foot only. You can do that in this menu. If we do change it to third-party roof attachment, you do have to consult with the manufacturer of that, because we immediately would our tool would immediately recalculate for only 4 foot on center, because we don't know what the capacities of that third party would be. But the one thing I'm excited about is we're going to choose the SpliceFoot XL. This is our brand new direct to comp and deck option roof attachment. It's compact, it installs rapidly, and you don't have to break the shingle line like you do with traditional metal flashings. It's very fast, it's very simple to install, and it gives you the flexibility of joining the rail together in the field as a splice. With that said, you can actually choose through an abundance of different configurations with the SpliceFoot here. You can use it as a rail connector. You can use it as deck attached only. For this particular issue, I'm going to actually use rafter attach only. I'm also going to select the rail that I want to use out of this menu. I'd like to use our lighter gauge, but not lighter in duty, 44X in mill finish, because we're going to use black clamps on the top. And I'm going to make sure that there's some good end caps that are on that rail, so no debris or any kind of our critters try to get inside the racking there. And then from here we can choose our wire management. We definitely want to have a rail mounted MLPE kit, which is great for microinverters and power optimizers. And then from there, I'm going to click continue. It's letting me know that it's analyzed everything that we've drawn up today, and we should be in good order. And it gives me a little bit of a breakdown of some of the cantilevers. And this is all packed into your engineering report as well. So we're at the final stage here into summary, and this is where we offer our suite of API bridges. We also have your fully outfitted BOM here. We have images of the equipment. If you're not familiar with what we offer, this is our Crossrail 44. This is the rail connector that goes in between. This is the SpliceFoot XL with the integrated butyl water barrier that's built in to the mount. This will show you the mid clamps. All of the imagery is here, so if you're unfamiliar with the product, you can actually just hover over it and get a better understanding of what it looks like. We have upgraded our MLP hardware kit to be a single bolt, and this is all a part of a single tool install. So you should only need one socket for this entire BOM for all of the structural attaching of the modules and the rail together. You will need a separate socket for putting in the screws for SpliceFoot because they are a different size. So, but everything else that you'll need to attach rail and the T-bolts that attach to the rail, the Yeti clamp, and all of your module and rail attachment will be a single 13mm hex. So that's that portion of the BOM. Here's our kilowatt target, and I'll be able to hand it over to you right now, David, because we're going to go through our menu of API bridges here. Standard report, where you can actually download this entire system, everything you drew up. It's right here. It gives you an assembly plan, project data. It even our report will even give you the length to cut the rail, so you can know exactly how long you need to cut the rail. It gives you the actual readout of that. We've packed a lot into this report, and we'll be able to go over that later. If you guys want me to send you this report, I'll go ahead and just download it. And then after that downloads, we'll go over to the other buttons that we offer here. Last but not least, we have our software design button, which allows us to go over to SolarEdge and different APIs with K2+. And then let's get this over to David. We're going to click the GreenLancer API button. So let's get this over real quick. It's noticed that I do have a login for GreenLancer. So if you don't have one, you need to make sure that you do have one. I also do recommend just having your GreenLancer account up on your browser. It's helpful. It's not required. It's just helpful to have. If I hit login, it's going to recognize the project. And then from here, it's going to ask me, what would I like to have? Let's go over a couple of these real quick, David, and then I'll request one.
Yeah, definitely. So starting at the top, the permit, that would be your common permit plan set with all the structural and electrical sheets, spec sheets at the back of the full plan set. Permit plus batteries, we do separate a traditional solar PV system from solar PV and batteries or storage. So that's where you would get your PV plus storage permit plan set. Going down into the structural engineering, once again, all of our engineers who we work with are licensed in any state that you're working in. So we're never going to hook you up with an unlicensed engineer, but that would just be for structural engineering review, get your structural stamps, and then so on to the electrical engineering review and getting those electrical stamps.
Terrific. For this sake right here, to send this project on over to you, I'm going to go to request permit pack. And then that will open up into GreenLancer, and then I'll hand it on over to you.
All right. That is sending its way over to our platform. I'll take over here, Nick.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you for the demo. Anytime I see the base program, man, it looks easier and easier to use. So it's really amazing what you all were able to do.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Go ahead and take over, and it's on to you, David.
All right, and everyone see my screen okay?
We can see it. You're good.
Okay, so we could see that project that Nick was just creating inside base. It made its way over to our platform, the GreenLancer application, corner house V2. Right here, we could see that one quote Nick created, the $140 permit plan set service. As you see, I'm inside this project within your account. So if I went back to projects, I can easily come back, click inside that project. I have my quote sitting right there. If you ever want to add additional information to your quote, any nuances with the project, anything you want us to really be aware of, take it into consideration when we go through the full design, you can click on that quote anywhere, kind of highlights when you put your cursor over it.
Mm-hmm.
And now on the right-hand side, you'll see the service details. This is where we would input any extra information that did not come from the base program. Starting at the top, company information. You know, we obviously want to reflect your company on that permit plan set. Going down into project info, I will have two methods to upload information. Option A is upload files, where if you have everything saved on one file on your computer, simply drop it right here in project files. Saves a lot of time, takes about 3 minutes to load up a project. So it's one I would recommend, a method I would recommend. On the other side, we could answer questions. We're going to go through quite a few questions, answering each individually. So we know once we get this project, we have the full project information. So we don't have to waste any time requesting A, B, C, D. We have it all right there. We're ready to get going. Once we have everything loaded up, you want to make sure you go to the very bottom of the page and hit Save Changes. All that information will save inside that quote, and then your quote will say awaiting purchase. Once it says awaiting purchase, that's sort of your indication, hey, this quote's filled out, I'm ready to check it out. Just like any other e-commerce website, you push through the checkout menu, input a credit card, make that payment, and as soon as that payment comes through, that service is now active, and our design team picks it up and starts working on that project. Quick thing, I'm sure those who are watching, you see company information. I wouldn't want to input my company information every project that I do. So a way around that is if we go up to your customer profile, you can very simply drop in your customer information. This way, you don't have to input it per project. You input it here, save it on your account, you load up a new project, create another quote, that's going to be pre-filled out in there. That'll save you some time.
So it's saved to your profile. So every time you submit a project, it'll remember you.
Correct. Yep.
That's pretty good.
Then I'll go back to projects. You have a demo project going right now. A big piece of our platform is our communication aspect. Instead of dealing with emails, phone calls, taking down notes with the pen and paper, a lot of stuff gets lost. So through any active service, this would be an active service right here. You can see there's nothing on the quotes tab. So if I went to the services tab where any active or completed services would be found, you'll see this top service, single line diagram with electrical equipment tables. This one is in green text. So that one means it's good to go, it's completed. On the right-hand side, once you click in that service, you're going to have a discussion board. Beauty with this is it links you and the designer, the engineer, whomever is on the other end of this service. It links you both up through this project. So if the designer needs any additional information, they'll send you a quick comment through here. Everything will be documented and time-stamped below this. You can get an email notification saying, hey, we reached out on this project. You can simply log into your account, click into that service, and then type a message back to that designer or engineer, whomever. That's a great piece of our platform. One more cool tool that we have is right here. This would be your final deliverable. I can download it right here, or if a few things are maybe off, I can hit that eyeball, and this is going to open up our annotation tool. Zoom in a little bit here. So you can see on the left-hand side, this is a completed permit package. On the left-hand side, you'll see all the pages within this full permit plan set. And let's say on the site plan, I'll zoom in a little bit. Oops. About that. All right, let's say I wanted to get rid of these two little modules. They're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. The homeowner didn't really like them sitting there, so we want to remove them. What you can simply do is click right wherever you want. I'll click right on that module. I'll drop a pin, and then I can write a corresponding message with that pin. Move. And this one too. Move. So I dropped 2 pins on the 2 modules that I want to get out of this design. And now what I'm going to do, post annotations to discussion tab. Builds your annotations and saves it. Let's hope this goes fast. Looks like. Now, if I scroll down, you can see that I just left this comment, this annotation for the designer on the other end. If I click on the annotation, open up, and you can see there it is. So it's a good way to get quick red lines out. If you want a few things changed, homeowner didn't like the look of something, it's really easy and simple way to get some changes out to those working on the project. So that would be a completed project. I showed you where that quote would come from the base program right here, ready to go. And then, of course, if you want to add anything, you just click into that quote. And then really quickly, just a few housekeeping things. The information, you could save all that so it populates. And then right on the other side, company, these would be, we can add your logo, customize your permit plan sets to your company every time. And then we can set email notifications, if you will. So any accounting emails, we can make sure any of those emails go to your accounting department. If one person in your company needs to know when these permits are back, we can set that notification. So when any work is completed, one individual or multiple will get an email notification, hey, this project has been returned, and then comment emails as well. A lot of times it's good for a project manager to have their email in here so they're aware and they get alerted anytime a fulfilling partner reaches out on their work. Customize that quite a bit. Then users. We can always add users, delete users, and this is where we would add anybody new to the account that we wanted to. So that was about it for the GreenLancer side. We can customize your account and surely speed up your operation by really learning the ins and outs and utilizing this platform to the best of our ability. With that, Nick, I'll pass it over to you.
That's terrific, David. Well, we've had some questions so far here, but the one thing I did want to go over with our base tool is a couple other features that we have built into it, especially with your ability to save on the dashboard here. So you can use these projects to your advantage. You can categorize them, what's in progress. I know it doesn't show there's a lot of progress in here because I keep the testing, my login with the testing tool is as clean as I possibly can. So you'll only see today's and yesterday's updates. But you have the ability to share these across with each other. So one of the best things about our tool right here is that I can clone
Nick,
a
if you're
project.
sharing your screen, we can't see it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I was driving that whole time without doing that. Let me go back to share real quick. Thank you, Dakota. I appreciate that. So as I was saying, I was back here at the dashboard, and this gives you kind of a readout of your projects. I know that you'll see that last time modified on the right-hand side is mostly today. It's because I really try to keep the testing portion of our tool, of my login, extremely clean. But one of the best things that we offer here with our tool is the ability to clone your project, or you can download the file of your project, which allows you to basically share projects with each other. So that's actually one of the most efficient ways for our technical team to support anybody who's designing anything with Base. So if you're having trouble with a particular point in the project, the easiest way to get us to help you is to just simply share the file with us. Sorry, my mouse is going a little wild here. But you have the ability to just basically go over a project and download it. So let me go to this project real quick here, and I'll go back to the dashboard, and I'll show you guys how to share a project. Sorry, so here's our project that we were working on. Let's say for some reason I was stuck on the roof aspect or something like that. If I wanted support with this project, I would just click the download, right? I could share the project after I'm downloading it. There's my file right there. And I could go to our chat and I could get a hold of somebody via iMessage or WhatsApp. So I could send them the file and I could say, hey, I'm confused on how do I add another roof to this? How do I change the direction of the roof? So we're able to respond very rapidly if you send us the project that you're actually working on, or we can easily jump on a video meeting for you guys and get you supported. That and the autosave and 716 and the API bridge we have with David and Jay over there at GreenLancer are the 4 updates that we wanted to show you guys, predominantly the GreenLancer partnership that we have. We're excited for it. Dave, thanks for driving through some of the features of that. I think maybe let's open it up for some of the questions we have chatted in so far.
Yes, we have a few questions in here already. I'll start off with, how are the service levels different from GreenLancer and GreenLancer through K2?
Whoops. I think that is that a GreenLancer question, or is that through us?
I think that's a GreenLancer question. So is there a difference with if someone, I guess, works directly with GreenLancer, or if they, click the button through K2, is there a difference in the product offerings?
Yeah, so the product overall, the permit plan set, it's going to be the same thing, of a full permit with all the structural and electrical sheets designed. Only thing maybe different is logging into your GreenLancer account outside of our partnership. You might have more options for service offerings, but it's going to be, for the most part, the same services, the same work, the same deliverables in the end.
Perfect. And then just piggybacking off of that, they also asked, is there any additional revision fee, or is it all included in the 140 price point?
That's a good question. So with the 140, I'll say this overall for any of our designs, if you get rejected at the AHJ level and they give you a rejection letter or any email feedback, we're never going to charge you to correct our work. That's just not right in the end of the day. Now, you may see a change order if we do a full design, and then we're going to move that full rooftop system to the back garage. It's a pretty big change on the design side, so we might have a change order. But overall, if your permit ever gets rejected, we would never even think about charging you for us to update our work. Revision fees are not something that we like to send out. We want to support our installers. So what do we have to do? Get you that support. That's what we strive for.
Perfect. And then Matthew asked, how do the setbacks work if you only need a setback along the ridge or for flat roof NYC projects where the location of the 6-foot fire pathways can vary greatly.
6-foot fire pathways. Wow, interesting. So the easiest way to combat that is honestly just take the roof and place it where you need to place it. So you can modify this yellow line right here if you need to. But if I did know that I had a 6-foot setback, I would just change the dimensions of my roof that I'm trying to install on. Hopefully that answers your question. So I know that there can be a lot of complexities with roof, and the design we're looking at right now is very rudimentary and easy to design. But the more complex that roofs are, especially with 6-foot setbacks, the easiest way to navigate that would to just change the dimensions of your roof here. So I would just change that based upon knowing that I need a 6-foot setback in a certain area. If you do actually, one of the better ways for us to support that, Matt, is for us to help you design the project and for us to get better vision on exactly how we can help you. Does that make sense? You can always reach out to us on the chat, and you can actually email us directly. Our contact info is in the actual webinar.
Thanks, Nick. And kind of just piggybacking off of that question, how do you customize the roof setbacks?
It is actually down here. And it's on this portion right here. Actually, might not have it here in the test version. I can take that one offline and show you how to do it. I actually don't have it on this version of the tool that is designed for our API bridge with GreenLancer. So I can show you how to do that one separately if that's all right.
All right. Okay, and then who will be the point of contact on project questions? If it's structural and electrical, when I submit it through K2, will the point of contact be at K2 or GreenLancer?
If we have an ongoing structural or electrical engineering review through GreenLancer side, the point of contact would definitely be that service and that discussion board within that service, putting you essentially in the same room with the engineer working on your project. Of course, we love getting phone calls here. So if you have a project ongoing and you have some questions, give my personal self a call or give our main line a call, and one of our reps will be available to assist, dig into that project specifically and help out.
Perfect. And do you guys only stamp the documents, or do you also assist with the structural independent engineer review?
Our engineering services, they are primarily to review the completed PV design and stamp off on the structural pages or the electrical pages, whatever is needed. I'm sure we can help out with a structural independent engineer review. Maybe we could follow up offline and I can learn a bit more about that and really find us a solution, which I'm sure we have.
Perfect. And Scott asked, are the PV module selections in the dropdown certified for system level fire classification according to UL 2703?
That's actually a great question. So in our manual that we have on all of our documentation, you will get a list of all the modules that are UL listed with us. So the menu that we have on the design tool is all the modules that have been tested, period, and structurally that will fit on our system. So if you do want to double check that the modules that you're planning to use on this on your project, I would definitely consult our assembly guide. And that's actually a terrific question. So there is a lot of uncertainty with the module industry. Companies will go and come and go with very little notice, and very rapidly be the top module, and then tomorrow we'll send a letter that they're exiting the industry, and then there'll be a new company that's coming along. At K2, we have a team that's completely dedicated to making sure we have as many modules UL listed with us as we possibly can pursue quarterly. We are constantly uploading new UL listed modules to our manual for the Crossrail system, for our commercial systems, ones that are compatible with our metal roofing systems as well. So it is a constant moving target for every racking manufacturer. So if you do have a question about a module, please refer to our assembly guide for the product that you're using. And we're actually building a way to do that in base as well. So you can just basically tell it like, only show me UL listed modules. So that is coming. But for now, I would definitely refer to our manual, which is updated bi-weekly.
Okay, and then I'm going to take these last two questions here. But if you guys have any more questions after this, Nick, if you want to go back to the presentation and just share your guys's contact info, you guys are welcome to send any more questions to David or Nick directly. But we'll take these last few here. Do you have the capabilities to design permit sets in New York City? The permit set requirements are much different than what is required in most jurisdictions.
Short answer, yes. We have done quite a bit of work in New York City. I personally am very involved with that state and the market. So I know the ins and outs you have to go through New York City, but we're well versed and we're ready to take on those projects. I'm certain we can help. We've done it before.
Perfect. And then, the question I'm sure everyone is wondering, when will this feature be live?
Yes. So we were driving over the test tool today, which is already in its staging staging place as of now. We're working towards releasing it beginning of April. So might be maybe the first week of April, but that is our goal, is to have it live. So if you have a base login right now, you will not see what we just showed you. But if you wait until the beginning of April, you should see the GreenLancer button popping up there very soon. Our digital team is working on this every week to make sure, and has been working on it diligently to get where we are today. And I'd like to thank the GreenLancer team for helping us along the way and being so supportive and being able to work with us moving forward. You guys got an awesome platform, and we're proud to be a part of it. And we're actually proud to keep our clients supported and bring both of our audiences together.
Likewise, Nick, we feel the same way. We're very excited about this partnership and to really excel the industry overall. And I think this is going to help out quite a bit in that regard. So we're excited. Great to work with you and work with you closer going forward and really accelerate this.
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you for your time today. Reach out to David or myself. We're very easy to find. Please call the K2 team if you ever need us. Use the Sherpa Instant Chat. And Jay, David, Dakota, thank you for putting all of these webinars together for us. Thank you everyone for attending, and I appreciate your time, David.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see you soon.